Hi everyone, I'm Chef Nicole. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make bananas Foster. You need a couple of ingredients to start. First you need 2 bananas, a little underripe, 1 orange, allspice, nutmeg, brown sugar, butter, a zester to zest the orange, a knife to cut the banana, a cutting board, a ½ teaspoon and a 1/4 teaspoon measure. And then over here we have our liqueurs that are going to flavor our dish. This is dark rum. You can use any dark rum you would like. And banana liqueur. Any banana liqueur will do. So now the first step you need to do is, you can use a cast iron skillet or any frying pan in your house. Turn it to about a medium-high heat. You're going to add your butter. And have utensils ready. I like to use a heat-proof spatula. Of course, sparkly pink, because that's my favorite color. So you're going to melt the butter, and you can basically just stir the butter in until it melts. I'm going to turn it up a little higher to get it going faster. You're going to add your brown sugar to the butter, and basically you want to melt the brown sugar into the butter. And it's going to take a while, probably about a minute or 2. Just let it all melt together, and stirring it does help get the lumps out. Sometimes brown sugar is lumpy, so you want to make sure that you get all the lumps out. Otherwise you're going to have chunks of sugar, and you don't want that. You want it to be a nice, smooth sauce. Okay? Alright. So now I'm going to add my nutmeg and my allspice. This is nutmeg. You're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, if you don't like nutmeg, you can use cinnamon. I like nutmeg. Some people don't. Some people do. And a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. So just make sure that you have all your tools ready. It's called mise en place. So mise en place before you start your recipe. And you stir that around until it all comes together. You see how the butter and the sugar is melting nicely. You've got your spices in there. Now turn it down just a tad. Okay, now we're going to slice our bananas lengthwise. Peel 2 bananas. These bananas are pretty long. A lot of recipes come from Europe. And basically, the bananas in Europe are shorter. So you can actually quarter this lengthwise. And I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Okay? And plus, if you want to put it on top of ice cream, you can actually slice them. So it's up to you. I like lengthwise. You can put them on top of pancakes, on top of ice cream, or just eat it by itself. So you're going to cut it in half and then cut it lengthwise like this. Kind of like you would do for a banana split. Okay? Again, I'm going to cut this lengthwise, half it, cut it lengthwise. Now, if you want, you can do slices if you're doing it as a topping for ice cream or cake or whatever. Okay? We're also going to do a ½ teaspoon of grated orange zest, which I'm going to zest. Now, this is called a microplane or a zester. You can get this at any store such as Sur La Table or Bed Bath & Beyond. Any houseware store will have it. So you want a ½ teaspoon of zest. That's 1 whole orange. So depending on how big the orange is, this is a pretty large orange. If you have a super large orange like this one, you know, just zest around the circumference of the orange. Measure it out to 1/2 teaspoon. So we put in the brown sugar, the allspice, the nutmeg. Now we're going to add the banana liqueur. And it says to use a ½ teaspoon, but I don't measure that because it's delicious. And so I'm going to add as much as I want. But technically it's supposed to be a ½ teaspoon. So that's going to give it a real strong banana flavor. And it's only going to enhance the flavor of the banana Foster. Alright. So, bring sauce to simmer. Now we're going to add the bananas and cook for a minute on each side. We're going to carefully kind of spoon. I like to start with the inside down like this. And as you cook it on a medium-high heat, you're going to spoon the sauce over the bananas as it cooks just to get all the flavor infused. So 1 minute on each side. And, you know, if you're wary about using your fingers, you can use a pair of tongs to place the bananas in there. I'm just going to wash my hands real quick. So now I'm going to turn this up. So basically we're just going to wait for this to cook. And obviously, you know, you can use your tongs as a little ladle, spooning the sauce over. Be very, very careful, especially if you have a cast iron skillet, because your hands can get hot very easily. So if you want, grab a towel for your hands. Okay, so it's been about a minute. I'm going to flip them over. And now, this is basically cooking in a caramel sauce. We have made a caramel sauce, and now the bananas are simmering in it. And again, you don't want your bananas to be too ripe. You want them just slightly underripe, because if they're too ripe, they're going to be mushy. You do not want them to be mushy. Now this is the part that gets a little bit scary, so we want to be really, really careful. Basically, you're supposed to add, let's see, 1/4 cup dark rum. And you know what? I'm going to do about a ½ cup. Now, stand back, because this will flame if it's hot by itself. And we got a flambe. A very good one. So step back when this happens. Now you can use the stick lighter. I tilted the pan. I'm a professionally trained chef, so I've done this before. If you're doing this at home, please do it very carefully. Make sure your hair is back so you don't burn your hair. And step back. You can use a stick lighter like I said. Now is when I'm going to add my orange zest. And you can use more orange zest if you want. It depends on if you like it or not. I put it in last because if you put it in first, the oils from the actual orange peel will not be as flavorful. So I always add my orange zest last. You just mix it around, just like that. It just gives it a nice bright flavor. Okay, so now you're going to take the bananas out. And I like having ice cream, but for some reason we don't have any today. So I'm just going to basically, you could serve this as a dessert and just put some whipped cream on it too. It's gorgeous by itself. Okay, you can stack it like that. And then you want to pour the sauce over it. It's a beautiful presentation. People are very impressed by it, especially if you're going to cook it in front of them. Oh, they can't even believe what a chef you are. Okay? And we're going to drizzle the sauce over the bananas. Yummy, yummy in your tummy. Okay? And voila, you have bananas Foster. Thanks for joining me.